Act 1, conflict within the family.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk to him about it, and I appreciate your time. I'm sure that this won't be the last time we talk. But you have a good day. Okay, bye. Well, that was Connor's teacher, and he flat out lied to us. I don't really know what I'm going to do, but all I know is he is about worthless to me right now. I mean, I don't even want to claim him as my son. I am sick and tired of all the grief that he has given us. He lied again, and I'm sick of it.
What did the teacher say? What did she say on the phone?
She said, well, you know, we told her that, you know, that he claims that she lost 2 of his papers. Nobody else. I knew from the beginning the worthless son of a gun was lying from the beginning. But she said, no, I didn't lose anything. He's the one who's only doing half the work. No good. I can't believe. No, I believe it. You know why I believe it? Because he's your son. Your family. It came from your genes.
Have you never lost anything? Maybe. Maybe she lost it.
You really, oh my goodness. So you're going to take your son's word over the teacher.
I'm just saying that.
He's probably been teaching for years. Our son's been lying for a very short time. He's been teaching for years. I mean, deals with parents all the time. You're going to believe our worthless son.
You're just saying this because when you were his age, this is things that you would have done, and you would have.
Don't turn this around on me. Don't turn this around on me. He's the one that lied to you. He lied to me. He lied to you.
I mean,
he's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar.
Make you talk, please. It makes me sad to think that he might have lied, but I'm just saying that could we not entertain the idea that maybe she really did lose a paper, but
So
you know
she's
what?
lying.
But you know what?
So she's lying.
I'm not saying that the teacher's lying. I'm just saying sometimes you overreact about things, and you are big and scary, and so I could understand him making up a little bitty lie because he was afraid of you.
Afraid of me? Afraid of me? Why would he be afraid of me?
Because you're going to ground him when he gets home, and you're going to let him have it when he gets
And
home.
all you're going to do is sit there and baby him. And you're going to come up and hug him. And you're going to say, it's okay, son. I know you would never lie. You wouldn't do that to your mommy. I mean, goodness, you're going to wipe his booty too?
Act 2, conflict in the church.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming to the board meeting tonight. We've already had prayer, and it's great to see that you all want to really serve the Lord and make these important business decisions about the church as a whole. So let's just jump right in. Our first department is Sunday school. We have a new growing Sunday school class for the first and second graders, and so I'd like to see about buying a new curriculum. It's not going to cost a whole lot. I think it's about $75 per quarter, and it's really what the children need, especially since we have over 30 children in that class now. So could I have a motion to go ahead and to purchase this, or is there further discussion?
Pastor, that is not necessary. I think that they have plenty over there. The old material is only from 1985. I think that's plenty new enough for these children.
Well, okay. Well, would anybody else like to say anything, or you're all okay with that?
I think, how much was it? $75? That's really a lot of money. Where is it coming from?
Okay. Well, that's our treasurer could show us that that we are financially we have about $20,000 in the bank. Well, I'm sorry. I should not have brought it up. I'm sorry. Let's just move on. We'll make do with what we have. The second item is on benevolence. We have a family just across the street. They've been attending the church now for almost a year. They were baptized last weekend, and I just found out a couple of days ago that the husband lost his job, and so I was hoping to be able to have them come and do some work for the church while he's looking for another job, and possibly pay him, you know, $10 an hour. He has a lot of experience. Is that too much, or they are?
Do you know him well?
Well, they have been attending the church for a year. They sit right
How
they sit
long?
right behind you.
How long?
It's the family that sits right behind you. It's Ed and Sharice. But
I've heard some really bad things about them. I don't feel comfortable about this.
you don't feel comfortable. You know, but this is a family that's right. It's part of our church family that we could help. We could really make a difference with it. And it's someone that we can. We have the ability. We have the work to do. The fence is actually falling down next to the church, and he worked for a fencing company. I think this would be a very good thing.
How do we know exactly that we can trust him? I mean,
Exactly.
there's a lot of equipment in this church that I'm just,
feel.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she said that she's heard a lot of bad
I've heard
things.
bad.
Are you sure? Are you? Okay.
Really bad.
Okay. I thought it would be a good thing. I obviously. It's okay. It's okay. Well, moving on then. Well, our preschool is very successful, having a wonderful summer program that's going on. We do need to put a door in to one of the rooms because it's a fire code that we have to have two means of exits out of that room. It's something that the fire inspector gigged us on, and so if possible, I'd like to. I'll even do the work myself. I won't charge anything extra. I'll check to see if I can find a used door. Cost will be less than $100, but this is something that we need to do. So could I entertain a motion for this?
No, I don't think you can entertain me.
Pastor, you need to understand that we don't really like change around here, and that sounds like an awful lot of change.
But it's something the fire marshal said we have to do.
Is there another room
Do we have
that
to
the
use that room?
preschoolers could go
We
into?
could go into a different room.
I mean, there's this big sanctuary here, and I mean, it's good enough
It's
for us
good.
for church. I mean, can't we just do the preschool inside of here where there's lots of doors? And,
$100 is a lot. Cheyenne, that's
Okay,
a lot of money, right?
Well,
Not sure if we really want to spend our money that we have right now on something like
It's
this.
frivolous. It's very frivolous.
but we have $20,000.
For
to
things
spend.
we could really need. I don't like spending money on stuff like this when it's not necessary.
I mean,
Okay.
you never know. There's always the rainy day, and we really need to save that for a rainy day.
Okay. I apologize again. I thought these were some good things, but I respect your decisions. Well, the final item is one that I think you'll probably not like. It has to do with having assigned parking spaces in the church parking lot. I do have specific parking spaces set aside for the board. It's going to cost us about $1,000 in paint and sealing, but I know it's crazy to think that you guys would want to do that, but it would give you assigned parking spaces. So if this is something you really want to move forward with, it was requested to be on the agenda. I'll entertain a motion, but I do think there's a lot of money, and it's not really something that
I personally think our own parking spots would be nice. Because when we're trying to carry things in for the potluck, and it's raining, we have to park sometimes all the way over there, and we get
Good. 100 feet.
I don't have an umbrella with me all the time.
And when I wear my heels
So-
to church,
I know, I don't
you
want
know,
to be tracking
I-
through the
so
grass.
you do understand the amount of money it's going to cost, but
How much
you-
was
you'd
it?
like- it's going to be roughly $1,000.
We have
to-
$20,000.
why wouldn't we be using that for something like
I
this?
know, it's.
Okay, would you like to entertain a
Yeah,
motion
we
to?
will entertain this.
Absolutely.
And do I have?
I'd like to make a motion.
And do I have a second?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Well, that's all I have. Let's close with prayer and thank the Lord that we've done His will and that His kingdom has grown.
Act 3.
Conflict in the workplace.
Hi, Amy.
Okay, all right, I'll see you later.
Hey, how are things going?
I'm fine. I'm glad you're here. I have an issue that I need to discuss with you.
Okay, normally my hours are between 3 and 4 p.m., but I can probably cancel you in.
Thanks.
So, what do you need to talk about?
Well, let me just say, I'm pretty sure that you made a mistake on the last tuition bill that you gave me because I know that I paid for the week in question and I know that I'm not wrong because I don't make errors when it comes to money.
I'm sorry. Let me check into that for you. Just take a second. Okay. Well, it looks like we never received a payment from 2 weeks ago. It was just probably an oversight on your part, but I can remove the late fee if you want to, if that'll help.
I am not wrong. I paid in full and I will not be paying this at all.
I understand. Maybe I can set up a payment plan for you.
Well, that is a lot of money and I have a hair appointment today and a nail appointment tomorrow. I mean, look at this. It's ridiculous. I really cannot cancel that because I have a really important date on Saturday.
I totally understand. Well, I'll be glad to set up a payment plan for the $5 you owe.
That's fine. Well, I gotta go. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
Hi, Miss Martha. I have a situation that has come up unexpectedly.
What is it? I'm kind of busy right now.
As you know, my husband has been in Iraq for the past 6 months. I received a call before work that he was in an accident. The details are very sketchy, but I know for certain that his Humvee was hit by a roadside bomb.
Okay.
I was wondering if I might be able to leave work because I need to make preparations to go to Washington, D.C. He's being transferred to the military hospital there as we speak.
No, I don't think so. See, I have a lunch date, and I mean, the damage is pretty much already done. So, anyway, and also, if you leave now, we're gonna be over ratio. But, you know, it's Friday, and how about this? How about I let you leave after work? So, just so you know, I just want to say something. I'm really surprised that, you know, you're a military wife. Aren't you supposed to be tough or something? Like, I think I would be in your situation. Anyway, you can close the door behind you when you leave.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Jamie. I hope that you all enjoyed my little 3 different scenarios about dealing with conflict, the incorrect ways to handle conflict. I'd like to just tell you a little bit about each one of them and maybe give some ideas about what they could have done better based on what I've learned from this class. The first scenario surrounds a family conflict. The husband gets off the phone with his son's teacher. The son has lied to the husband and wife at home, and he instantly is angered. You heard all the things that he said. He was very demeaning in the way that he spoke about his son, and so the wife instantly, you know, takes his side, the son's side, but then she does something a little, she knows how to push his buttons by saying that he used to act the same way, and so he would assume that his children would act the same way. So they both are incorrect in the way that they handled it. They both could have controlled their emotions better. I see that they could have been a united front in everything because they are not against each other. They need to have based on what we've learned in our class, they need to have a mutual purpose with the same goal, so that way they are not working against each other. And that might have helped. It also would have been better had the husband not been so demeaning, because that, that made the wife be a little defensive because that's her son. The second scenario took place during a church board meeting. The pastor was presenting different items to the church board. The conversation became crucial because there was a threat of change and the option to spend large amounts of money. As you saw in the video, the board members were very set in their ways. The pastor tried to help them see the need for each of the items he presented. Of course, most church boards would not be as unreasonable as the ones in the video. I hope that that's the case. I hope that there are really not church boards out there that are that way. However, there are times when everyone will not agree, and a good way to make decisions, especially in cases like this, would be to vote. I hope you notice how the pastor seemed to avoid the conflict by yielding to the board members. He avoided things. He gave in. He criticized his own self, and then he went on to the very next item very quickly. One of them, he initially gave his own opinion, but after realizing he was getting nowhere, he moved on. According to our text, Becoming a Competent Leader, one of the most common practices for dealing with conflict is not dealing with it at all. One of the most common wrong practices, of dealing with it incorrectly. So I see two things that the pastor could have done in response to the conflict. First, he could have put himself in their shoes, which is known as perspective taking. They were having difficulty with change, so maybe he could have presented only one item that required change. He could have seen it from their point of view, that they're older, they've been here longer than he has, and that they're more set in their ways, and maybe understood that a little bit. Second, he could have asked for them to help create other possibilities. These two behaviors are known as active and constructive. And I know the members did give some different ideas for some of the solutions, but a lot of it was based with negativity. It wasn't at creating an actual solution. It was more trying to avoid what he was presenting. So those were two options that he, as being the leader of the church, could have done in that meeting. And the third scenario was in the workplace. The conflict revolved completely around the administrator. First, she was confronted very rudely by an angry parent. The administrator completely bent over backwards for an absolutely ridiculous request. The parent was obviously able to pay the fee and showed absolutely no humility. So the fee was $5, and this administrator bent over backwards and made up a payment plan and did things for this woman, which is fine if that's how they want to operate. And the whole point was not to talk about the rudeness of the customer, the parent. The point was to see how the administrator interacted with the parent, and that's fine if that's what she wants to do. The difference is when we see her interact with the employee. The administrator was approached by one of the employees with the request to leave early. The employee had experienced a horrible tragedy. However, the administrator simply scoffed at her and denied her request. So this employee comes up and she tells her that her husband has been injured in Iraq and is going to be sent stateside, and the administrator doesn't care, it's going to interfere with her plans, and so she doesn't want the employee to have the time off. So the administrator did not treat her employee and the customer, being the parent, the same. According to, again, Becoming a Competent Leader, if the values that are used to deal with one another internally are at odds with the way the organization wishes to treat its customers, the probability of long-term organizational effectiveness and success drop precipitously. So basically, all those long, big words, the administrator, if she continues to treat her employees internally poorly, then that very well could roll over to her customers, and which are her parents. And I mean, if I was treated that way, I don't know that I would hang around. So it would be helpful to the owner. The administrator is not the owner, so it'd be helpful for the owner of the business to implement a conflict management system. And then the administrator and the employees need to learn how to handle conflict effectively. And those are things that will roll over from the employees to the customers. Maybe they need to take how they approach their customers and pull that back to how they treat their employees. So those were my three scenarios for handling conflict poorly, and my advice for when I've learned from this class on how to improve that. Thank you for your time, and have a blessed day.